And hello YouTube, welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about some introduction to Samba. The main purpose of which is to create a folder that can be shared between the host. For example, I'm running a Linux Manjaro on my desktop, and I have, let's say, some virtual machines like Ubuntu or OpenSUSE. Okay, and these are virtual machines that I'm running, and I like to share files between both of all three of these virtual machines. Of course, or share information and folder, come back and forth between all these virtual machines. And of course, Samba can help you do that. And not only that, Samba can help you share between folders, share folders between two computers, and even virtual machines between two computers. So it's pretty versatile, but it's a pain to learn. If you look online, there are lots of videos. Okay, so these are some of the videos. I'll put the link in the description, and I do reference. I myself look at them to learn them. All right, and there are lots of resources, and there's so many ways to configure Samba. But if you want to do something really simple and you're not really bothered with setting up a huge network, then forget it. But of course, if you want to learn, you gotta start somewhere, and here's where you can start. Okay, so these are just some Samba basics. So I'll try. Just want to set some expectations. It's going to take a while to get yourself familiarized with Samba. Okay. But I can guarantee you if it will be worth it in the long run, especially if you have multiple laptops, multiple computers, and you want to share folders, or multiple virtual machines and you want to share folders. Okay, so just a note, I'm running Manjaro, and let's first talk about how Samba works. Okay. Because I don't just want to go into command line and then start blasting commands at you, or not blasting commands, sharing commands, and you have no idea what's going on. Okay, so let's say I have my PC1, right? This is my main PC. I have my PC1. Okay, and inside this PC I'm running some VMs, virtual machines, right? I want to share files between here. And let's say I have another PC. I have a PC2, and I have virtual machines running in that PC as well. And I want to share folders between here. And not only that, I want to share folders across like this as well. Okay, and that's what Samba will help you to do. It will bridge all of these together. Now, how is it going to do that? So Samba, the idea behind Samba is that you set up a server. Okay, what's a server? Okay, basically, the idea is that, okay, let's say in your PC1, in your desktop, let's say your Manjaro desktop or whatever, or it can be other Linux distros or whatever you have a folder you want to share. Okay, I want to share this folder. Okay, so setting up this server, okay, means I want to make this folder shared across the network. Okay, so if you're connected across the network, the PC1 will obviously be able to access the folder. Okay, so this folder will now be on the network. So network. Okay, or basically I'm broadcasting this folder. I want to broadcast the folder for everyone to use. So if I want to broadcast this folder for everyone to use, I'm talking about all the VMs here. I'm talking about VMs in my second PC. I'm talking about my second PC as well. So you can connect as many PCs and VMs in those PCs as you want into this network. Okay, as long as you set up this Samba server. And so why is it called a server? Because you have it takes resources to put this shared folder on the net, and you know, PC1 here is doing all the work, of sharing. So since PC1 is working all the time, it is so-called serving. It's in the role of serving. Okay, this is in the role of serving. And then who is being served? Okay, well, PC1 is being turned on all the time, but these guys, depending on how you access it, okay, your virtual machines don't have to be on all the time. The virtual machine or another PC will, if they want to take a look at this shared folder, all right, I can just log on into this PC, and then I'll say, okay, let's type the IP address of this shared folder. Okay, same thing for the virtual machine. When I turn on the virtual machine and I feel like it, I will log into this shared folder. Okay, or log into the server. So this is so-called server because it serves the other PCs. And this language kind of humanizes the whole thing, and then you because you serve another PC, so to speak, because you're expending energy to share a folder. So these PCs will be called clients. Okay, this PC2 will be called a client. This VM will be another client. This virtual machine here will also be called another client. So this is the whole server and client terminology. So what's one example of this? It's not just on Samba. For example, you have Google Drive, right, or Dropbox, or whatever, free online service. Okay. So what Google Drive is, or Dropbox, or OneDrive, GitHub even, or GitLab. All of these are actually hosting. They are hosting a shared folder for everyone else to use. So you can access the same shared folder from many PCs. So these will take the role of the server again, because they're offering you the service of computing on the cloud. Okay. Hold on. They are actually taking the role of serving on the cloud. And yeah, Google or whatever, Microsoft or whatever company, they will have huge computer banks to have shared folders for everyone basically around the world, unless someone blocks you. Okay, so they take the role of servers, and they will just put these gigantic shared folders online so that everyone can use it. Sometimes for a fee, of course, if you want to use it. Okay, but that's the basic idea of a server and a client. Now, of course, we are not aiming to be Microsoft or Apple or whatever. We are just trying to have a small folder for us to share between our PCs here, between PCs, between the PC and the virtual machines, and even between virtual machines on different PCs. Okay, all of this can be done via Samba. So what Samba does is to turn your ordinary laptop into a server. Okay, it turns the ordinary laptop into a server. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering some terms here. I'm not getting it 100% right, but that's basically what Samba is helping you to do. And how do you actually configure Samba? Okay, unfortunately, you have to use a command line. Okay, command line and input files. So these are text input files that you need to give Samba in order to do it. And that's very kind of user unfriendly. Of course, it's for more advanced users. But if you're just getting started, you want to set up a simple shared folder and basically set up this so-called server. This is where you can start. Okay, so where do we start? Okay, for starters, I'm actually running a Manjaro system. Manjaro is based on Arch Linux. So basically, one good way to look is you look at the Samba documentation for Arch, and of course again it will be information overload. Okay, thankfully, thanks to some of the videos I watched, again I can show you the links and everything. Okay, of course these are there's a lots of ways you can do Samba. There is there are some example input files. They call it the Samba config file. Okay, if you want to take a look, you can look at this Samba Git repository, and this will be one example of a Samba Samba file. So you just copy all of this and paste. And again, I'm not the first to do it. There are other videos that actually make use of this Samba Git repository as well. I find this video very helpful. Linux Make Simple. So it helps me with the navigating around Arch. Okay, so let's put all these together. Okay, remember I said that in order to use Samba, you need to use command line, you need to use some input text file. And this input text file is called the smb.conf file, samba.config file. And that will help you to so-called configure Samba. All right. Now let's try configuring Samba. Let's see how much time I have. Okay, 11 minutes in. Let's try configuring Samba in a very simple manner first. Let's see. Let's go to where is this config file found? Okay, where is this config file found? Okay, so I assume you're familiar with Bash. Okay, I assume you're familiar with Bash. So where I want you to go is to go into the root directory, go into etc, etc or whatever. There's a Samba folder. Now Samba is usually installed on Manjaro by default, okay, as well as Ubuntu as well, and I believe OpenSUSE as well. Now if you have Arch installed, then you have to do it manually. I won't be going through that. That's another topic for another time. Okay. Now normally, if this is the first time you play with Samba, there won't be a samba.config file here. So this will not be there by default, unless you use Samba a lot. So if this is your first time using Samba, you can just download this Samba config file, or rather you just copy and paste. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is just to copy and paste it. Alright, I'm going to edit a new Samba file first. Okay, and I have my own Git repository for this video series called Samba Videos. I mean, it's pretty descriptive. So I'm going to go to these repositories in Samba Videos, and I'm going to make directory introduction. Or maybe I'll just call it video 1. Okay, let's go to video 1, and I will touch smb.config smb.conf file. Okay, so I will just vim smb.conf, and I will paste everything here. All right, so this is what you have from the git.samba.org. This is their default config file. Okay, so I'm going to try setting up a Samba server using this default file. Okay, of course you're going to find that it's not possible. Okay, but yeah, basically what do you need to do? Okay, what do you need to do? So you need to have a Samba config file. And then once you have a Samba config file, you need to start Samba, right? You need to start Samba. How do you start Samba? Okay, you will be using a lot of these commands called system.ctl. This is the main commands you'll be using. Okay, system.ctl. Okay. So what you need to do, okay, well, a few commands you need to know. Okay, systemctl status. Okay, so this will check whether a program is running or service is running. So the service for Samba is called smb. So systemctl status smb. This will check whether Samba is running. And right now it is not running. Okay, so again, no worry, I'll put all these commands inside the directory for you. Okay, so this is the vanilla Samba, Samba config file. I'm going to make commands to use. Okay, so what's the first command? Commands to use. Okay, so it's called sudo systemctl. You might need to use root privileges, so yeah, sudo, you will need to do it. Sudo systemctl. Okay, first is systemctl status Samba. This checks the status of the Samba service. Sometimes it's called a daemon. Okay, so let's try again. Systemctl status smb. Okay, so this is the daemon, Samba daemon or Samba service. Okay, so this checks whether Samba is running. Okay, so I'm going to remove this Samba config file, or rather, instead of removing, I will copy it over, or maybe rename it. Move Samba config to Samba config backup. Okay, so permission denied means I just basically need root privileges. Samba config to Samba config backup. Okay, I'll enter my password and there you go. Okay, so now Samba cannot run. So there is no smb.conf file. I changed the name. So if you try to run Samba like that, it will show you some error. Okay, so let's try running Samba. This runs Samba if it is not started. Systemctl start smb. Okay, smb is for Arch. SMBD, I think, is meant for Samba daemon. That's for some other operating systems. So I won't go through that so much. Okay, so this is Samba on Manjaro, right? Okay, so let's try systemctl start Samba. So sudo systemctl start smb. Okay, so it will tell you that the service failed because obviously that there is no smb config file there. So what we need to do is to copy this vanilla Samba config file. We copy it over to Samba, etc.samba. So what I'll do here is sudo cpar. Okay, you don't need the cpar, you just need cp. Okay, but we do the Samba config, and I'm going to paste it in etc Samba, and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, and I'm going to type my password. Okay, and I'm going to press L. I have a Samba config file here. Okay, so there you go. Now let me try again, because now we had a problem starting Samba before because there's no Samba config file. Let's just try running Samba now. Sudo systemctl start Samba. Okay, so now Samba is running, and we can check the status by doing so. See, it's now active and running just because we pasted a config file there. So we have not configured anything yet, but at least we know how to start and stop Samba. We didn't say which folder we want to share. We didn't say what are the permissions of such a folder. This is something just the bare bones. Okay, so how do we stop Samba? Okay, very simple. Sudo systemctl stop Samba, and okay, so you now know how to start and stop Samba. Okay, So let's take a look at status of Samba, and you can see now it is inactive. So let's Samba. Oh, sorry. Let's go to the commands. This stops Samba if it is not running. Okay. This is for Arch based systems, e.g. Manjaro. Okay, now hopefully that makes it. Oh, sorry, I forgot to type the stop command. Okay, systemctl stop Samba. Okay, so now we know how to start and stop Samba. Okay, at least that will strike a few things off our list. Okay, if you want to start Samba every time you turn on Manjaro, we can type in this command. This auto starts Samba every time you log on. Okay, so the command here is systemctl enable Samba. Okay, so sudo systemctl enable Samba, and then if everything goes right, it will have a link. If you want to disable it, okay, so this will do the opposite. Okay, so if you don't want to auto start, then use this command. Okay, systemctl disable Samba. Okay, if you want to do systemctl enable Samba and start Samba now, you can use this command. If you want to start Samba now and auto start on logon, okay, systemctl enable now Samba. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, sudo systemctl. Okay, hold on. Before I do that, once I turned off the Samba service, I disabled it. So let's check the status again, just to make sure. Okay, so it is inactive. Okay, so sudo systemctl enable now Samba. Okay, so this makes a symlink that basically starts Samba up every time you log on, basically. Okay, so let's and I also said that if we use the now what do you call that, flag, basically it means that Samba will start running now. Okay, sudo systemctl status Samba. Okay, and you can see it's active running. So okay, so this is basics of turning on and off Samba using systemctl. Of course, we have not even started a server or anything of that sort yet. Okay, but hopefully this gives you some leeway, some familiarity into getting Samba started. Okay, so the next video will continue and hopefully make a shared folder. Okay, so thanks for watching. I'll see you again. Bye bye.